Welcome to the Juggling Mind and Money podcast with Steve Rowe and Jessica Schlupp-Taylor. Steve Rowe is the founder of Lucent Financial Planning and an award-winning independent financial planner. He helps you to use your money and have a great life. Jess Schlupp-Taylor is a psychologist supporting people through change, challenges, and forks in the road of life. Together, they will help unblock the sludge in your mind, stopping you from achieving financial and psychological happiness.
Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Juggling Mind and Money. That's right, Jess.
Episode 20, that's nuts.
Episode 20, and we recently passed our 1,000 downloads.
That's not bad for 20 episodes.
No, it's really good.
Because you're supposed to it needs about 100 episodes in order to get traction.
Because what are we? So, end of July, roughly. 6 months is quite a good period to get 1,000.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
I looked at the average, it was a year.
Perhaps in 5 years' time we'll be able to afford chairs that don't squeak.
Well, if you delight your listeners with your story of WD-40.
I do like a bit of WD-40. Every household should have a bottle.
You've been a right little handy woman recently, haven't you?
I am quite handy. I think that's what comes with being single and capable of using YouTube and tools. And generally being able to follow instructions, but not precise enough.
No.
So as long as somebody needs something doing, but they don't need it doing well, if they just need it done, I'm your woman.
Brilliant.
If they need it done well, get a professional in.
So, Jessica Schlupp-Taylor will help you get healthy heads and healthy unsqueaky doors, healthy short grass.
I can put mirrors up on tiles. I thought that was quite impressive.
That is pretty good without cracking the tiles.
Without cracking the tiles.
And that's how you work with your clients, isn't it, generally? Try and fix them, not crack them.
Yeah, I get them to spread their wings.
That's good. So, today, episode 20.
That is mad.
It has flown by, hasn't it?
Flown.
Yeah, and you've turned into some sort of diva, we've discovered. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had about 3 seat changes this afternoon, just so Jess feels just right.
But I don't, because I'm back to the original chair that squeaks, but it's the right position for the camera.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about you, the listener or watcher.
I've had to swallow the squeakiness.
Okay, right, so everyone knows how great we are because we've got 1,000 downloads and it's episode 20. It's like a birthday or something, but we've done it in 7 months.
I'm really impressed with that.
It is actually good. Do you feel a bit proud?
Yeah, I do.
Do that.
Oh, and at the summer party that we had for clients, there was a couple of clients that stopped me and said, I've seen your podcast, really liked it.
It's weird that when that happens, isn't it?
I didn't think anybody saw it.
Yeah. But they do. People are watching. It's a bit scary. Right.
Diagnose Steve. There's obviously something wrong with him. Jess delves into what it could be.
So, hi, Jess. I'm feeling really unwanted. I don't know what I'm going to do, really. Did they not value what I did for them for all that time? Did they not think I did a good job? I was really invested in that company and then it stops all of a sudden. It's as if the last 20 years were a waste of time and did I actually achieve anything? I thought I'd done well. Actually, forget that. Now I'm thinking of the future. What am I going to do? What will I do with my time? Will I have enough money? Will it be okay?
I'd say that you sound like a few of the people that I see that are being made redundant. They're not quite as dramatic as you. However, people that are being made redundant, it does come with a catalogue of and a roller coaster of emotions.
Well, it's a shock to the system, isn't it?
It's a big shock. It can come as a really big hit.
There you are, merrily going along, getting involved in your projects, being part of a great team, and then all of a sudden the rug's pulled from beneath you.
But even those people that are wanting, because you must have clients that are sitting there thinking, oh, I'd quite like redundancy. Ooh. Any time now, this would be a good time.
And then it actually happens.
And it happens, and it still feels bad. It's a bit like when you break up with somebody that you don't fancy or you're not attracted to anymore, even though you know it's the right thing. when it actually happens, there's still a bit of a roller coaster of emotions that go with it. What
It
do you
is.
mean I'm not wanted? What do you mean I'm not good enough? What do you mean I'm not right?
Right. I'm all confused now.
Have I gone off
You
track?
said you loved me. Well, that's it, because it is really hard. And a lot of people will be thinking, oh, I'll just stick around, wait until a redundancy offer comes along, because I can feel it in my bones that one's come in. And then when it does come, I'm going to get a bit scared, actually. Was I, or was that just putting off something? Maybe a bit of bravado. Who knows?
Well, they get scared, but they can still have that feeling of being unwanted or feeling like they weren't valued for a certain part, or if not all of their career. It can create quite black and white thoughts and thinking. It's definitely, even if it's wanted, it's a big life event. If it's not wanted, it can feel like a real tsunami of emotions. And hopefully, if you're in a good company, they'll offer you support. Not all companies do, sadly. But yeah.
What would that look like then?
Well, I think a lot of companies rely on their the employee referral scheme, where you can contact online telephone service or things like that. But other companies, they will bring in career advisors, they'll bring in people to rewrite CVs for them, they'll bring in coaches for them, career coaches to work out what they want to do next. But a lot of companies will just say, here you go, congratulations, this is the package that we offer you. Thanks for your time.
So I think generally, because I've dealt with a lot of people that have been made redundant, I've been made redundant, and I think in the vast majority, so 90+%, 95% plus.
Ooh, 95%. Yeah.
I can only think of one really where it hasn't worked out better for someone. One person. I think it's overwhelmingly positive, because it gives you a little kick up the bum, get you going, perhaps try something different that people end up loving a lot more. You get a bit of money on your way, so you get a head start there, hopefully, if it's a generous offer, especially. Indeed, I am a financial planner because I was made redundant.
Ooh.
I told you this story.
No.
Yeah, well,
Go on, tell us this story, because I didn't know you were a financial planner because you were made redundant. One door closes and many doors open, and you are the living... Sorry, I'm talking with a cup of tea in front of my mouth.
That's all right. Everyone likes tea.
Not everyone.
Well, all the best normal people.
We don't like normal. Some people drink tea like you. Anyway, one door closes, lots of doors opened, and you are the walking evidence of it. So hit me with your story, Steve.
So I was mid-20s. I had a nice little easy job. But I thought, if I stay here much longer, I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. And that wouldn't be a good thing. Even though it was great fun, because I had a nice team. I was in my 20s and we went out a lot. That's nice, isn't it?
That is nice.
Nice little social scene. But then I thought, I was doing an offer of redundancy. What was it? It was like 5,000. This is 2004, 2005, something like that. So I thought, I'm going to have that. And it's one of those situations where they sack everybody, and then there's these jobs, and everyone's got to apply.
Yeah.
So my friend said, Steve, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm off. And he said, yeah, but what are you going to do? I said, mate, if I don't take this, I'll be here the rest of my life. He did end up there being there for another 20 years or something. So I left, and I had the best January ever, because my last day was 31st of December.
But January's not exactly a fun month to have off.
It is when you get a payoff and you're young, free and single like I was. And I was, it was
Dry
great.
January, veganuary, all those.
It was before
it's not the
early noughties.
It's not the party month, is it?
It was the early noughties. They weren't
No
invented.
one's got any money in January. All that. Oh.
Yeah,
but you managed to have a fantastic time. You had money. You were keep whoop whoop.
I did. I've been made redundant. And then I was seeing this young lady, and she was a recruitment consultant, and she said, Steve, I can't get enough interviewees for this job. Would you mind going? And I sort of thought, yeah, I'll go along just for interview practice. Anyway, I got the job and I thought I might as well do it. And that was why I'm a financial advisor.
That's brilliant.
So that's
tripped over it.
Fate, serendipity.
But I also like that it's good evidence of saying yes to things. Just say yes. Will you go for this job interview just to waste my client's time? Yes, I will. I'll waste my time and the client's time. Oh, look, it wasn't a waste of time. It all worked out.
Exactly, for everybody.
No such thing as a waste of time.
Everybody was better off.
That's a lie. But yeah.
What?
Everyone was better off. And look where you are now.
That wasn't a lie.
No.
Well, that was quite a heavy, that's a lie. Are you okay, Jess?
I don't know why I look serious. It's because I had looked down at my notes and it said psychological issues.
Okay, so that brings me to something, Jess.
What does it bring you to?
The psychological issues of redundancy. Everybody, we've got notes. You never thought that, did you?
We do have notes, but clearly we're really bad at following them.
Yeah. Steve adjusts notes.
Can you hear that? That is Steve rustling papers, just in case you're on the podcast and you can't see.
So tell me, Jess. So probably we should distinguish between voluntary redundancy offers. So I had a voluntary one.
Yeah.
And compulsory redundancy where you've got no choice.
Yeah.
You're out. So what are the main problems going on in people's minds that are causing anxiety?
There's a lot, I think, that can go on. Doesn't mean that they have to go on, but that can go on. Significant loss of identity. Who am I? If I'm not this, you get a lot of people. So I worked in recruitment many moons ago.
Did you?
I did. And obviously on my travels, it was the time when we actually interviewed candidates and gave them a good hour, if not longer, of our time. And we'd have people coming through the door. Somebody would make redundancies. And you'd have some purchase ledger clerk or some accountant that had been in the same company 20, 30 years. And then they're made redundant. And so they've got this huge, well, if I'm not an accountant for these people anymore, who am I? If I don't have a job, who am I?
Yeah.
So there's a big loss of identity that they can feel. Doesn't mean that they don't get it back quite quickly. Big lot of grief.
Yeah.
A lot of the time people associate grief with losing somebody, with death, but actually grief is just the loss of something, the loss of a job, the loss of a career, the loss of a dream, the loss of a future, all those things.
Yeah.
Fear, anxiety can be incredibly stressful. What am I going to do next? Especially if you're in midlife, you might have children or mortgage or leases on cars and all those bills and things that need to be paid every month.
So if we distinguish between voluntary redundancy and compulsory, so you've got to change. Change is scary because you don't really know what the future's like. And then if you choose it, on the one hand, I suppose that's good because you feel you've been in control. But on the other hand, you could blame yourself if it goes wrong.
Yeah. And voluntary redundancy will be a choice, but that doesn't mean that you don't still actually get, to some extent, a lot of the same thoughts, pervasive thoughts that you do with redundancy. Because actually, yes, I've chosen this and I've just made the decision that this is the best choice for me, my future career or my future life. But that doesn't mean that you don't still have perhaps the questions of who am I now? What do I do next? The grief that comes with it, because there might have been, I was holding out for a promotion, or I was thinking I was going to get it to this mark, but actually this redundancy package is too good to refuse and I've got to take it. The anxiety and the fear that can also come into voluntary redundancy. Yes, I know I'm going to be in a better place by taking this package, by taking the offer, but that doesn't mean that the future is more uncertain. Before, you thought you knew where all your ducks were, your dominoes and your ducks are lined up. Even with voluntary, there's still some anxiety, some uncertainty. We haven't lived that life yet. We don't know what it's like. So much as they are two very different things, and I think one is deemed to be a lot more positive than the other, but what I would like to drill home is just because you've chosen voluntary redundancy, don't expect it to come without any psychological baggage, because the likelihood is that it will. You'll need a bit of support, but you're in a much better place than somebody where it's been forced upon.
Foisted. It's a good word, isn't it? Yeah, so you might regret your decision if it was your decision, maybe.
Yeah, regret, not sure, but you could question it, and you might spend quite a bit of time questioning it.
Did I make the right decision?
Yes.
And when will you know when it was the right one?
Well, there's no such thing as a right or a wrong decision. It's the one that you can cope with the answers to the most and the outcome to the most. When people are going through a bad relationship, it's do I stay or do I go? There's going to be a sense of grief, whatever you do. Which one can I cope with the best? Which one's going to give me the most likely positive? But you'll never know for certain whether it's the right or the wrong decision. It's the one that you can live with. It's like booking a holiday. Do you hold out for the absolute best bargain price, but take 10,000 years to find it, or risk missing out and risk not going? Or do you just make the best decision possible within a certain amount of time frame? And not beat yourself up when you're at the bar enjoying your pina colada and then someone says, oh, I only paid £500 for my 2 weeks in Benidorm.
And you were perfectly happy with what you got. And then,
damn, should have
So that's like the person staying in the role that didn't take the VR.
Yeah.
Oh. And then they're perfectly happy. But are they?
With all life things, it's about how we respond to our choices, either how we respond to things that happen to us, whether we choose them or not, and how we respond to the choices that we make. It's all about making the best of our situation. And that's why people come to financial planners. I jumped in then because Steve was about to say something.
I was about to say something,
but it was taking
profound.
too long, and I was thinking there's too big a gap for a podcast.
You're a professional diva now. And like silence
right, I'll
is
drink
dead
a cup
time.
of tea and give you time to speak. It's the only way to shut me up. I do have a friend that basically asked me out for lunch so that she can get a word in edgeways. Because if I'm eating, I can't talk.
Well, eat with your mouth open, dear. Spitting all over everyone. Because some people do
I hate that. I hate that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Back on target.
So, yeah, dealing with your choices. This sounds like something you, Jess, have to talk about a lot. Being happy with the choice you make, both when you make it and in the future.
Yeah, being at peace with it.
Kind of forgiving yourself if you do feel it's going the wrong way in the future, or...
Well, also, we don't know if we'd have stayed in there if we made the other choice. We don't actually know what the outcome to that would be either.
Because that could have been awful.
Exactly. And just because your mate stayed in and is having the most amazing time doesn't mean that that would be the same for you.
And they might be lying.
How we can make the best out of what we've chosen or what happened to us is key.
It is. Good. So in a moment, we're going to go to talk about some of the finance-related issues of being made redundant. So people often, I find, they've got some of the issues you've just talked about, but they blame them on the finances. So we try to deal with the finances first, get that excuse out of the way, and then say, hey, what's really bothering you about this? Is it something else? And it might be they've got something in their basement. Have you seen that in Rocky?
No.
Ah, Rocky Balboa, brilliant. Have you got something in the basement and you just got to get it out? It's my sunburn on my scar then. Anyway.
Just the most random podcast ever. From Redundancy to Rocky Balboa basement.
1,000 downloads.
Rocky Balboa basement to
So Rocky Balboa is in his late 50s or 60s or however old he is. Yeah. He's been asked to do another fight. And they say, why are you doing it, Rocky? And he says, do you ever feel like you got something in the basement that you just got to get out? So that might be something you've got at work that you've just got to do. It's not about the money. It's about achieving a project or...
You've got something more to give.
Yeah.
In that particular area.
And you've got to get it out before you can go. Anyway, we're just going to listen to a quick little jingle about leaving us a review.
Yes, please.
Because we thrive on reviews. That's how we've managed to get 1,000 podcast downloads in just 20 episodes.
Review.
What's 1,000 divided by 20? 50. No one knows. It's too hard. Okay, we'll do that now.
Steve and Jess would be really grateful if you'd leave them a review on wherever you listen to your podcasts. If they run a star system, please give Juggling Mind and Money more stars than the Milky Way.
Okay, welcome back. Thanks very much for continuing to listen through that little pause where we're asking you to do us a favour and leave us a review on wherever you listen or watch our podcast. Okay, right now, so we're talking about being made redundant, whether compulsorily. No one can say that.
Compulsory.
Compulsorily.
No, there's no really at the end.
Whether you've been made compulsory redundant, it doesn't make sense, does it? So it must be compulsorily.
Okay.
Anyway, or you've done it voluntarily.
Right.
Took voluntary redundancy. However you've left your work.
I'm now saying voluntarily.
It's scary, isn't it? It's a scary time because you haven't got an income anymore. You haven't got a wage. You might have been given a nice little lump sum.
Yep.
As part of your redundancy package. And then your fear is, how long will this last?
Oh.
What shall I do? It goes in the bank account, Jess, and then people watch it reduce.
Oh my goodness.
Over time.
That doesn't sound psychologically healthy.
No, it doesn't. So actually, we've been dealing with someone recently who's in a similar situation and they're really fretting. And we told them that, hey, they thought they had to get a job immediately and it'd been since Easter. And I was like, hey, you don't need to. If it gets to next August, we'll think about starting to worry from December. And then I went through the possibilities of what they could do instead, and they were a lot happier. And now they've taken August off for job hunting because they think, what's the point? Because no one's about.
Yeah, August is a quiet month.
And let them relax into it. Another thing people do is nothing. This is known as decision paralysis. So they might have been waiting for an offer of redundancy and they get too scared to do anything, or they've been made redundant and they're too scared to use the money they've been given because they're worried about it running out.
Okay.
Or they're too scared to start the business that they took redundancy for. What do you know about decision paralysis, Jess, and how can we avert it, stop it?
Well, first of all, an awareness that it's happening. So an awareness that, oh, actually it's 4 weeks on and I thought I'd be doing something by now. Creating a plan, being able to talk to professionals, whether that be somebody financially that helps you make those decisions. You need to find a starting point, and for that you need often support. And it doesn't matter what that starting point is, but a starting point is good, whether that be a business coach, whether that be a colleague, whether that be a friend or a family member, to create some form of impetus. Because actually with most people it's the starting that's the hardest bit. Once you start, then that train is moving, and then you can keep going and keep going. Having a nice bit of plan of action is really useful. And because I'm a bit of a fan of AI, using your chat and AI gives them what you want
make a decision for you.
Well, not necessarily to make the decision, but being able to give them the information about what you want to achieve and how do I get there.
This is like the modern Magic 8 Ball,
yeah,
isn't it?
And you can ask them to create a 3-month plan based weekly and break it down daily and break it, and it will do it all for you. You don't have to follow it, but it gives you a starting point and a thinking things through to be able to go, okay, so that's how I can get there, or that these are the steps that I need to take.
I read a thing about decision making once, and if it takes so long to make a decision, it doesn't really matter which you do because they're both going to be about the same.
Yeah, it's like making holidays. Also, if we only have, it's much better for decisions to only have a very small amount of choices. If a company gives you too many choices, so it takes too long to make a decision, you're more likely to walk away. So if you are, I don't know, if there's 20 jams, you're more likely to go, oh, you know what, I just can't decide.
Yes.
And you leave it, rather than if there's a section of 2 or 3 is the maximum, then you're more likely to choose one.
And then, of course, if one of those was a lemon curd, you'd be saying, well, that isn't really a jam.
It's not.
Should it be amongst my
Do
choices?
you like marmalade? I love a bit of marmalade.
Yeah, what do you think about bits in marmalade?
See, again, I don't mind fine cut. I'm all right with fine cut. My dad likes that thick cut because my
Chunky,
mum
thick. It's filthy.
and then
isn't
you're
it?
left with some nasty, bitter, rindy yuck.
And then should Marmite be included amongst the selection of jams if we're having curds and marmalades?
I think that needs its own section. Beside the
But it's still
jams.
something you put on toast, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not a jam, is it? So you're not going to put it between the strawberry and the raspberry. You're going to wait until, and then you might have your lemon curd, perhaps then a peanut butter. Or actually, perhaps Nutella could be the interlude, or other chocolate nut spreads are available.
Yeah. We'd be happy to be sponsored by Nutella, though, wouldn't we?
We would. I do quite like Nutella. I know it's all processed and not particularly good for you, but I do like a bit of Nutella, especially on ice cream with some roasted flaked almonds on top.
And the French thrive on it.
That's all right for them. Baguette and Nutella.
Awesome.
Mm-mm-mm.
So this is another benefit of redundancy. If you've got more spare time, you can sit around having chats and philosophical.
We haven't even been made redundant, and we still make time
really
for
busy.
it.
But it's important, and you'll
is.
be happier if you do that. I find.
Anyway, decision paralysis. Seek out some expert help.
Yeah. Impact on relationships. So, although this is under the finance section, you know, if there was a homemaker, say,
Yep,
and then the other person's slopping around the house again,
getting what do people say? You're under my feet. Get out from under my feet.
being annoying. So, the person that was in the home most of the time before, they've got their routine, and now they've got someone who's a little bit worried, unhappy, stressing, anxious about what they're going to do. This can have an impact.
Oh, they might be quite happy, but the homemaker's now thinking, what are we going to do? But yeah, it definitely there is an element of making sure that it's a decision that both parties or all parties are happy with and that they have a plan together. Don't do it alone, I think, is the key for redundancy. There is, what we didn't mention back with the psychological issues, is that a lot of people relate redundancy to not being good enough or not being wanted, when actually it's normally quite a practical decision when it comes to the company.
Yeah.
They're looking at brass tacks. They're not looking personal. It's not personal. And being able to take yourself out of that, take away the society's bias that can look at it sometimes with a shame or embarrassment, not being good enough, not being wanted, deadwood could go on, all those different terms. When take it out and look at it with brass tacks, then you're more likely to be able to speak to people. And speaking to people through the process, whether it be voluntary redundancy or whether it's redundancy, you've got to have people to speak to, family, friends, professionals, seek people out. There are lots and lots of people that specialise in this.
And I'd recommend don't speak to people you work with, because they might be in the same position and having the same thoughts, and then it can get a bit negative.
Yeah.
You're just confirming what the other one's thinking. So I'd very much look at redundancy as like a springboard to your future success. You're not dead wood.
Nope.
You're a bit of wood with a massive spring on it that you're going to jump on and have a lovely time.
Well, hold on. Even if you are dead wood, right? I hate to say it, but live wood is a tree, correct?
Yeah.
And a tree can be a tree, and it's very beautiful, it's very useful, it's very lovely.
But it's more useful chopped down as a sideboard. Is that what you're saying?
But dead wood has a multitude of functions. It could be paper, can be toilet paper, can be cardboard, could be a straw, can be a cup, could be a rolling pin, a window frame, a door. So many uses for wood. Could be sawdust for my guinea pigs, but I don't have guinea pigs anymore. I forgot briefly. Oh, they reached the end of their lifespan.
Oh, they're dead wood.
They were 8.5.
Sorry, I didn't know that. Why have you not told me?
Well, I didn't release it on my newsletter. I don't have a newsletter. Don't go searching for my newsletter. It doesn't exist. I can't even write a to-do list, let alone a newsletter.
So you've got a payment from the company that you've left. What should you do with that? Well,
I was going to say, don't ask me, Steve. I should ask you.
Well, it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah. Well, you should have just put on the notes, Jess, to ask Steve. You've got
We
a
do
payment
have
from
notes, ladies and
You've got a
gentlemen.
payment from the company,
Yeah.
whether it be voluntary or whether it be.
So how that works is you get a payment, and the first 30,000 is tax free. Brilliant.
Nice. Yeah.
Right, so you don't have to worry about anything on that. So if your payment's lower than that, it'll all be tax free. Anything over 30,000 is taxable on your income like normal. So if that will be added to your salary so far that year. So we're in the summer now, so we're 4 months in to the tax year. And if you got made redundant and you got, just for argument's sake, £100,000 redundancy, that'd be really good, right? A good amount. 30,000 of that will be tax free, and the other 70,000 is just added to your income and taxed accordingly. So that would definitely take you into higher rate tax band. Probably that's 40%, and probably over 100,000 in total income for that year. And over 100,000, you lose your personal allowance for income tax. Boring you now, aren't I, Jess?
Did my eyes glaze over?
Yeah. Steve's talking about numbers again.
I like numbers, but I just thought I'm not in that situation, so I don't need to listen to this bit.
Lemon curd, Marmite and jam. You was off on one.
I wasn't I?
But, you know, there might be people listening or watching that are interested in this. Doubt it.
But what's okay? So what's your personal allowance? What do you mean by personal
So
allowance?
everyone can earn £12,570 a year
With paying no tax.
without paying any tax.
Yeah.
When you get to over 100,000,
You lose the 12,700.
not in one go, you lose it incrementally. So if you earn 100,000 and £2, you'd lose £1 of your personal allowance.
I was going to say, if they did it in one sharp movement, that would be a lot of people on 999,000. And please don't give me a pay
Well, that
rise.
still happens anyway. But
Oh.
so from 100 to just over 125,000, effectively you've got a 60% income tax band, and you've been paid to leave this company due to all the hard work you've done in the previous years as a little parting gift. So how do you keep that? Well, one way is to do a pension contribution. You can pay into your pension, and that effectively makes all that money tax deferred.
So you can put a chunk of it into your pension.
So if your total income, including your redundancy, was 125,000,
Yep.
you could put a gross amount of 25,000 into your pension, but it would only cost you 40% of that because you save the tax, the income tax.
Brilliant.
It is brilliant. And you can do that.
If you can afford to put it in, which is actually why you probably need to speak to a financial planner or somebody to work out what can I afford, what can't I.
Whether you can afford to pay it, whether you've
How
got
much
the
monthly
pension allowances to make that payment. There's a number of issues, but that's a good way of doing it and enabling you to keep some of your redundancy payment longer, because you're being made redundant, not the government. Okay, so why should they be getting a larger amount of your redundancy
Yes.
package? That's a good little sort of motto there, wasn't it?
Yeah, quite like that.
You're being made redundant, not the government.
So do what you can to keep.
Because they're already redundant, lots of people think. Not I, because I'm not subversive like that. So that's one good thing. But you do need to also look at your cash flows. How long is your money going to last? Are you looking for another job, or are you retiring? And then you can look at all the normal things of how you'd access your pensions and make your money last for the rest of your life. Anyway.
I like it.
Some people, Jess, they get a bit guilty about spending the money.
Why do I get guilty about spending the money?
They feel, I've got this money, I need to make it last. I want to see this as an opportunity, but I don't think I can spend it until I've got another job. Or
I think that one makes sense. So I think there's that element, which is I almost don't spend it until I know that I've got a reliable source of income coming in again. But then but also there's something to do with, if you're given a lump sum, I think a lot of people feel as if that should be sidelined, whether that be for inheritance or the future, or rather than just splurged.
Well, I would think of it as just like, this is earned money you've got in advance.
Yeah.
So just spend it normally. And during that time, you look for another role, but you'll have a certain amount of time in which to get a role. Don't rush into a new role that you might not like. Get the best one for you. This is what this money's for, to give you time to enable you to make a great choice.
Yeah, don't make a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, and end up in another job you hate that will make you regret your decision. Okay, just lastly, we're going to go to psychology, and then we'll do a quick wrap-up of what we've talked about.
And now for psychology, where Jess and Steve review types of sock and how your socks affect your mood.
So, psychology, where we look at your socks and how they affect your mind. So, Jess, it is the middle of summer and it is quite warm.
I haven't worn socks for a while, apart from when I walk my dogs. You haven't worn socks
for ages. So, how do you feel when you're barefoot?
I love being barefoot.
Do you? Tell me.
Well, in summer I like being barefoot, and I've had my toenails done, so I feel...
They're beautiful.
Thank you very much. But I do have slightly weird feet. They're not the most attractive. But psychologically, I'm at peace with that.
They're not unattractive. They're fun.
Even if you're looking at the video, I'm not going to show you my feet, because I feel like that's an identifiable feature.
Are you able to say what I was doing with your toes?
He was trying to straighten them, but they're connected in the wrong place, which makes me sound like I'm really deformed, which, they're just, I'm only slightly. Yeah, they're connected in the wrong place. Lots of people look at my feet and they say, "Oh, your mum put you in," which I don't know why my mum would have put me in pointy shoes. No one put me in pointy shoes. They are deformed.
Right.
Yeah, beautifully so.
They're brilliant.
And I love them, but it does make wearing strappy sandals not great. But I don't think most people notice them, or if they do, they're too polite to say. Anyway, bottom line is, I'm not wearing socks.
Great feet, I would say. Not wearing socks is still psychology, because it makes you feel great.
Although, not wearing socks with shoes, that's where, that's smelly feet territory. So although I like not wearing socks
now,
in the
for
summer,
people our age, that was a thing. But the kids are wearing white socks now.
And pull up what? Yeah.
The youth, yeah. So that's cool. White socks and sandals. So we would never be
sliders.
They're not sliders.
Right.
Not thongs. They're sandals.
They're not sandals though. They're sliders.
They
or
are.
Birkenstocks are making a comeback. I mean, I know they've never gone out of fashion for some people, but Birkenstocks are in fashion with socks pulled up.
I had to wear sandals at school. I remember hiding them because I hated them so much.
Had to wear sandals.
Yeah.
You can identify people, I think, on age, like millennials and Gen Z and Gen X's and boomers and things. I think you can look at the height of their sock, and generally, when they're wearing trainers, especially with trainers, and make a call on how old they are. So my age was we always, and you're probably the same. We used to fold the long socks down back underneath to make them look like trainer socks.
Before them little ones were invented.
Yeah, but then those little ones are invented, and all they do is come off your ankle and slip off.
Rubbish.
You're better off with the folding technique.
Yeah, definitely. Feel like I have issues about sandals when I was a kid, but I'm going to let it go. That's for another.
Men in sandals. It's a difficult one, isn't it, to get it?
I wasn't a man. I was 5 or something.
Well, I know, but I mean, now, if you were to wear sandals,
it wasn't at a private school. It was at a normal school.
And you had to wear sandals.
Yeah, yes, I got bullied, didn't I?
Did your parents make you wear sandals? It wasn't school uniform.
Yeah, and then I should have been wearing them when I was a teenager, when my feet got massive and I couldn't get shoes anymore. Would have been a lot more.
What size are your feet? 12s?
13s.
13s.
Which is all right now, but in the early 90s.
Well, my friend has got a 13-year-old son. He's already in size 11s.
Yeah,
but he is 6'1". He's going to be tall.
Good lad.
I keep telling him to put his shoulders back and stand up tall.
Yeah, people told me that.
Yeah.
But what he should be saying is, I have to crouch because I can't hear you.
He already says that. He just
can't hear you.
Oh.
Short people.
Stick your chest out. Put your head up. Got a rope attached to your head.
Just ignore what everyone's saying.
Yeah.
And then you'll get, "Are you listening to me?" Like, no, because I can't hear you because you're so low down. Don't get me onto this. Adjust notes.
Oh, and that must be irritating. Going back to socks, because we were doing psychology. Yeah. How does it psychologically affect you when you go into a store to buy socks and it's only got between sizes 8 to 12? How upsetting is that for you?
Yeah, because you can never get... Well, they stretch, don't they?
I know, but you're at the end of the line of stretching, aren't you? Are you ever comfortable, or do you always get black toenails from socks that are too small?
Yeah.
Because I'm a size...
Well, I've never had proper socks.
I have big feet. So when female socks generally do size 4 to 8, and it really upsets me because I don't want 4 to 8. I want just a little bit bigger. And then people buy me nice little socks, ladies' socks, 4 to 8, and the ankle bit's not in quite the right place.
How do you
So psychologically,
maintain
I'm
standing
upset
up?
by that. I've got good balance because I've got big feet. Although, because I've only got 4 toes, I was quite a decent swimmer. But I think if I had 5 toes or the span of 5 toes, I would have been faster because I've had a bigger span on my feet. I'd have had bigger flippers.
Because looking down, I can see they're webbed as well.
Honestly, people are desperate to see my feet now. Why do you listen to the podcast? Why do you watch the video on the off chance that Jess gets her feet out on camera? OnlyFans at J. Taylor.
Could be a financial little
side
hustle.
To come, yeah.
Anyway, enough of that. So, right, back to redundancy. So, when people have been in a role a long time, so we're thinking of your life as a job, which is still relatively common, I think, especially with the people we deal with. What sort of unique challenges are there for those people that aren't really there if you've only been in a role 7 or 8 years, say?
I think there's just a lot of fear around it, knowing the systems, knowing how things work. It's really, really scary is the big one, is the fear of not being able to adapt, not being able to change to something new. When what we would do is we work with them to get that mindset changed and understand that actually new doesn't have to be scary. It can be really exciting, and getting them to realise how all the other parts of their life that they've managed, whether that be online shopping, using the banking apps, using this, using that they can adapt really quite quickly, and they can embrace change rather than be fearful of it. So a lot of work, when we do work with people that are being made redundant and want to go back into work or need to go back into work, a lot of it is around accepting change and being able to embrace it rather than be fearful of it.
Do not be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Get some support, get some help, and speak to the right people.
It's hard, isn't it? If you've been at school or whatever, then you've got a job and you've been there for decades.
I've had
That's
people
the only
in
life you know, really.
Floods of tears. It can be incredibly scary, and losing out on your social circle, your group of friends that some of you've grown up with. That they are Monday to Friday. You probably spend more time with them than you do your own children. It's a big loss.
It's really hard.
Yeah. So I would say don't feel that you should be able to cope without help. I would absolutely reach out to people and get help before you sink into a pit, because actually you don't need to be a pit. With the right support and help, you can see those open doors, you can grab hold of the new opportunities, and you can feel really positive about what's next.
Brilliant, Jess. So it's super exciting.
Yes.
Being made redundant.
You just might need a bit of help to find that super exciting.
As Doc Brown said in Back to the Future, because it was on at the weekend.
Was it?
The future's what you make it, Marty.
It's so true.
He is. Well, he's brilliant, isn't he? But only because he knew that, because he had a time machine. But the future's what you make it. See this as an opportunity. Could be the best thing you've ever done. As I said at the start of today's edition, there's only one person I can think of where it's worked out worse for them. Everybody else has been way happier and gone on to do brilliant things. And I think it is your springboard.
Yeah. Use it as time to be able to reassess. What do I want? Where do I want to go? And what doors do I want to open? Have a look through a few doors. See what's behind them. You can make the choices. The power is in your hands.
It is. Just as it is, Jessica, for people to do a review for us. So please do that, and please continue downloading, because there's been official notice today that for both of us from podcasting corporations that we will be made redundant unless we have 5,000 downloads by the end of the year.
Oh, that's a big aim. Let's go.
It is. So we need people to recommend us to their friends. Oh, I've listened to a great podcast recently.
Or watch us on YouTube, because there's a few people that said, I only listen. I didn't realise there was a video version.
There's a video. Watch the video version.
There is a video version, which actually explains some of the pauses, because you and I communicate quite a lot with body language, and we forget that people can't hear us.
It's flicking the V's at me all the time.
So if you watch the video, you'll see what happens in all those pauses.
Yeah, a lot of eye rolling from Jess and sighing off mic. This is why am I here? Anyway, thanks very much everyone for listening. It's been great. Thanks, Jess, for telling us about your foot issues. Let me tell you, they are okay. They're fine. They're beautiful little feet. Mine, however, are not. We'll see you next time for episode 21.
Woo.
Episode 21. God, it's like we'll be grown-ups then.
Yeah. At what point do we get good?
I don't know. Episode 21, where we should be grown-ups, we should be mature, but, you know, that's highly unlikely.
We live in hope.
Yeah. We can do it. We can grow. Bye, everyone.